What's going on? What's up? Welcome back to NGB Talk. I have a special video today. It's a pregame of Titans versus Colts, and my man right here, Mark from TitanUpload, is joining the show. Mark, how are you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone out there that is watching this live or watching this after the fact, or maybe you're just, it's midnight on Wednesday and you just need more Titans content. Well, you can watch the pregame here on NGB Talk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. My man here, Mark, TitanUpload, does a bunch of amazing videos for Titans related content, and he did one recently this week. You can find his Twitter handle right here. He did one recently this week. It's a Titans Colts preview. He does one pretty much every week. And he'll be going live after the game, post-game show. I will be busy. But Sunday night after the game, 9:45 p.m. Central Time, okay, that's when he's going to be going live to rehash the victory that is going to occur, Titans at Colts. Are you excited about this game or what, dude?
I'm very nervous, but I'm excited for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Has your excitement, your nervousness caught up to one another, or what? Because I think I'm there with you too. You can be just excited as you can be nervous. What do you have to be nervous about, man?
Well, if we lose, it's going to be a difficult road. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard for us to get back in the thick of things because of our division record specifically. Sure. And our conference record. And against these teams that we're competing with, we're kind of in a logjam. But the road is clear. We take care of our business. We win the division. So there's no reason why we can't beat the Colts this week, right? With all the injuries, you would think.
We'll get to the injuries for sure. That's a huge point. And the question I have for everyone is, which injury is going to hurt each team the most? So we'll get to that question. We'll get to the answer to that question later. Yeah, at this point, it seems like looking at the way the Bills have played and looking at how stacked the sort of teams, how stacked the group of teams is there at the playoff, kind of in the playoff hunt. The Raiders, the Steelers, even the Browns are still somehow mathematically, have potential to make it to the playoffs, and the Colts and the Texans, all of us there. I don't know if I left anybody out. It seems like the best way, the most surefire way, is just win the division, and it starts tomorrow with beating the Colts. So again, looking forward to a fun game, nervous as we are. We're going to break down Titans versus Colts. Quick video today, and then just have the rest of the weekend to look forward to the game. So without any further ado, here are NGB's 3 keys to victory. Okay, I'm gonna say number one. You probably already guessed it, Mark. Number one, we got to run the ball.
Yes,
we got to run the ball, and honestly, it's more like the running the ball sort of game has to be won by the Titans. We have to be able to run the ball, and we have to stop the Colts from running the ball, because I think these Colts are pretty good at running the ball. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're 8th in the league, so they do a pretty good job, although max out. But yeah, they're still going to be tough. That line's tough.
They do very well. The offensive line is doing a fantastic job for those running backs. Jaguars allowed them to have 200 plus rushing yards. Kind of insane. It's kind of not really mattering to the Colts who goes up there. It's just about just getting guys the ball and allowing that offensive line to do what it does. But speaking of offensive lines doing what they do, how about the Titans offensive line really providing hope and life to this offense? I believe both of us were thinking this is an awful offensive line earlier in the year, weren't we?
Oh yeah, it was a mess. Keith Carter, just nothing from this offensive line.
Yeah, we were definitely calling for this guy to be
for his
head. Where's that? We don't need this guy. We got some people in the comment section already. We got TNZer Stovall.
He won the hat, by the way.
We appreciate
Congrats,
your
man.
We're gonna get. Is that right? Hey, way to get that hat, man. Well done. Winner of the hat, showing up for the live.
He actually claimed it too. So good job, man.
Yeah. Technically, he's one of the winners of the hat.
One of the winners, yes.
So we were calling for Keith Carter's head, but now I think we can say, Keith, you know what? A for effort. You get the most improved award, perhaps. We'll see down the stretch, won't we? Number two, key to NGB victory for the Tennessee Titans. Score touchdowns, not field goals. What do you think about that, man?
I like it. It's been what we've been doing lately, though. So
yeah, it's been the recipe.
Plan, right?
It's been the recipe for success. You know, the more times we kicked it earlier in the year, the more field goals we did not make, and the more
7 for 15, by the way.
Oh, that's a scary number. So I'm great with just not, I'm great with just not kicking field goals, because this seems like the kind of game where it could come down to a field goal, like a field goal miss is why we lose it, because these teams are kind of the mirror image of one another. I feel like, solid defenses and then, physical running the ball offenses. So scoring touchdowns, not field goals. And obviously that's the only reason we've been 4-5 in the last 5 games is because of all the touchdowns that Ryan Tannehill has scored. And my third key is don't get out coached. It seemed like the thing that separated the Titans from the Colts in week 2 was that fact that we got out coached by I can think of his last name, Reich. What's his first name? Frank Reich. Frank Reich in Frankie. Frankie over in Indy. I feel like he just had the answers when things were getting bad for the Colts. And I feel like Mike Vrabel and company has grown a lot since week 2. We're seeing less of those incredibly terrible decisions that no one would ever attempt to justify by Mike Vrabel. Less weird decisions by him, but you don't have to make weird decisions when you just win, right?
Yeah. So here's a question for you though, real quick.
All right, man.
A lot of Titans Twitter lately divided again, right? We just cannot get past this Mariota thing. But how much do you think the offensive line's playing better, Tannehill's playing better, some of these guys, the coaching, opposed to just Mariota being out there? Because that's definitely the question a lot of fans are asking. What's with the change? Is it all Tannehill? Was it because Mariota was awful? I mean, what do you think?
These are the things that keep me up at night, my friend. You could go hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks thinking about what was it? What was it that early in the year made this offense so bad? Why is it better now? There's all kinds of things you could point the finger to. One thing I started thinking about these kinds of questions, which they really have no answer, and that's the reason we're all divided on it. I'll try to give you a real answer, by the way. Okay. One thing I thought about: what if the tables had turned? What if Ryan Tannehill was a starting quarterback at the beginning of the season?
Ooh,
right?
That's good.
What if Marcus Mariota had the chance to sit back and watch a floundering offense and watch as the starter, dealt with all of the inefficiency and incompetence at times, and inconsistency of the offense? What if the tables had turned, Maybe we'll see that play out next year for Marcus Mariota elsewhere. I think that the thing that maybe, and so to answer your question, Ryan Tannehill had the chance for the first time in his career to be the backup, right? And he had a chance to really take a step back and really gain some perspective and see everything. And that might be the biggest change, is that he was able to kind of go out there and just play ball, be able to be fearless, and just being traded away from the team that he was with for 7 or 8 seasons. It maybe made him realize you don't get a lot of opportunities, that you only get a few cracks at this thing. And there must have been real conversations between the coaching staff and Ryan Tannehill about how serious they were about him playing,
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking Ryan Tannehill is the X factor. Well, I'll say one of 2 X factors, and then I want your answer to this question too.
Sure.
Because there's nothing like asking a question that you get to answer yourself, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I plugged it.
that's sports. That's sports talk right there. The other thing I think is Arthur Smith. Honestly, I think that he's really realizing how to utilize Derrick Henry how to make this offense go. And so I feel like those are the two things. We had the change at quarterback, Ryan Tannehill having all kinds of perspective and obviously savvy, veteran presence. And then Arthur Smith kind of figuring out how to make this game go, how to use his offense efficiently and effectively. What do you think, sir? What do you think the biggest change has been?
Well, I think a lot of it's confidence, isn't it? I mean, we saw Marcus Mariota after week 1, which he had a couple big plays, and we obviously won the game, and just destroyed them in the fourth quarter. But that game was tight throughout. But then we went to week 2 against the Colts, right? And this is where everything started to show from Mariota's point. Just, sure, stat-wise, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. I mean, it's an average day at the field for the most part. But, we only gave Derrick Henry the ball 15 times. He still averaged 5.5 yards per carry.
He was running like a beast.
Yeah, but there's just something missing with the offense, right? Yeah. And it was something holding us back. Couldn't, third down was terrible. Couldn't convert anything. We couldn't make a kick.
Misfield, yeah.
But now you see Ryan Tannehill, and whether it's coaching, which I'm sure that has to do with it, the offensive line is obviously playing better. Now Lewan is fully emerged. Saffold's playing better, starting to get a little bit more production from Nate Davis. Conklin showed what he can do. Ben Jones has pretty much always been just solid, right? But the confidence. Tannehill's not afraid to take a shot. Tannehill's not afraid to stand in there. And to be quite honest, did we see this athleticism from Ryan Tannehill? Because he's technically doing everything Marcus Mariota could do, right? But he's doing more.
But he's making the right decision to
run. Is. That's very key. So, you know what I mean? This is huge for us going into Indy. I feel a lot more confident, but I just don't think you can avoid the history behind these teams. And a lot of people on Twitter want to do that, and they want to act like it's no big deal. But trust me, you remember 2014, by the way, sorry to go a little off here. The Colts picked up a quarterback off the street for the last game of the season versus the Tennessee Titans.
Do you remember the guy's name?
He used to play for the Bucs and then the Vikings. Oh, man. Do you remember?
Not Josh Freeman.
I think it was him. I think it was Josh Freeman. Yes. But they picked him up off the street.
In 2014, he would have been off the street, yeah.
Yeah, but the point is, he had 1 week to get ready for the game, and he still beat us. He still beat us. So, and we've seen the team where the Colts started 0-10 one year when Munchak was fighting for a playoff spot. I think we finished 9-7 that year. We missed the playoffs. Lost to the 0-10 Colts. So, this game does have me worried, but on the flip side, it feels a lot better with Ryan Tannehill at the helm, I think. And we're going in red hot.
Red hot. Honestly, it seems like the Colts have kind of fizzled out as of late. They looked really good. They looked really good at the beginning of the year, beating the Chiefs, having
beat the Texans at home.
Having beaten the Texans. They played some really good football. Obviously, they did enough to beat the Titans early, but, we're red hot. There's confidence. There's energy.
Yeah, we were red hot last year, though. Beat the Cowboys, Patriots going into that game, and we smoked the Patriots. Mariota looked amazing.
And Tom Brady was benched.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was so great.
Yeah, that was great.
Benched.
But then we went to Indy and we laid an egg. And that's the thing. I think a lot of us hardcore Titan fans are very afraid of this team to just show up out of nowhere and just not show up.
Yeah. We're all.
Uh-oh. Am I going solo here? I'm taking over the channel. Where are you at? I can't run the show. Can't run the show without you. Let's go, Nick. We need to get you back on here. Same TitanUpload, man. Where are you at?
Hey, I'm back. Man, don't know what happened there.
Hey, there's this sports channel real quick that does these raids, and they'll send their whole audience into other people's live streams, and then they'll just put their little, I don't know. I saw it on the Jaguar thing when I was watching the post-game show from the Jaguars. But anyways, I thought that's what we were doing here. TitanUpload was taking over the channel for a second.
Yeah, TitanUpload is taking over. I like in your comment section, sometimes in your videos, there's a guy that's trying to get people to click on some weird advertisement. It's really sketchy stuff. Let's get that out of here.
Sure.
Get that out of here, please. So if you did tune in to Mark here on TitanUpload, he had a preview video that I'll put in the description of this video later, and he had a projection for Titans Colts.
Ooh.
What was that projection, by the way, man? Let's see if you can stand by your word and tell us about it live.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I've taken a lot of heat on this too.
Have you?
By the way, yeah, I think I've
You know,
lost.
it hurts me every time. And you know, last time you projected the Titans to lose.
Oh yeah, and then you guys turned me into having them win. You guys remember that against Carolina?
Yeah, you said that the Titans would lose to Carolina, and then the Titans
They
lost
talked me
to
into
Carolina.
Carolina me. You know, I can't ignore history, and I think a lot of fans want to do that, and that's just kind of a scary slope. Yes, you got to take each game at a time, but there's got to be a point where
I love
think
ignoring history, by the way. So
yeah. And I understand it, but it's a big part of it. Since 2003, I can't even count how many times we beat the Colts. And somebody with like 3,000 followers is going off and saying, "Oh, how do you guys get all upset about this? You know, we beat them in 2017." But come on, Nick. Like 2017, the Colts were awful, and we still barely beat them at Indy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I got a 24-14, and you know that was before the Hilton injury, so maybe it come up a little bit. You know, maybe 21-14. But again, it's going to be how we start. You know what I mean? And I agree with all your keys. I think they're dead on. But at the end of the day, it's just one of these things, is there a turnover here or there? I remember the Colts came into Nissan Stadium, and this was one of my first games ever in Nissan Stadium with my new seats. And I brought my Colts friend, and this was the game where Mariota got sacked at the end of the game, and they fumbled it, and the Colts ran it in for a touchdown. That game was back and forth, and it was a huge game. And that game ultimately –
was that his rookie year?
Wait, no, it would have been his second year.
Okay.
Because that was the year playoffs, I believe. Or maybe it was his rookie year. I can't remember. But all I remember is that game was very, very close. And it just turned into a nightmare. Maybe that was his rookie year. But Andrew Luck just
back and forth the whole time. It was something crazy, like 35-34 at the end. Yep. And I believe we handed the ball off to the fullback on the 1 yard line, and he couldn't make it in.
Yeah. And that was the game they came out and did a surprise onside kick or something like that. So I mean,
stinkin Colts
things happen with the Colts. So that's just my philosophy. I apologize to Titan Nation. It's no disrespect, but a lot of people want you to be true. So that's what I am. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and act like we're just this almighty team coming in, going to win every week.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. We're playing hot, but I remember last year, and same kind of feelings going through. So at Indy's a tough place to win. We know that, even though the Dolphins won there this year. But, so what do you think?
I hear you, man. I think you've had a lot of things that you've said that have turned out correctly. You said one week you said one key to the game is to not suck up, and we did suck up. Ryan Suckup missed a bunch of field goals. You claimed that Delaney Walker would be on IR, and he was placed on IR this week. So we appreciate your truth. We do, and we think your analysis is good. However, I'm the Titans fan that is blinded by my desire for the Titans to win. And I believe the Titans will win 28-20. So there it is. You can at me about it later. So that's my big projection. I think the Titans, they maybe attempt one field goal but don't make it, and we really at that point will know there's no field goal kicking for the rest of the season.
Yeah, can we get into this really quick? The backup kicker that we just signed, right?
Yeah.
There's been some speculation. Ryan Suckup, number one, is not going to IR because of this guy. Okay. Number two, this guy is brought in. I've been harping on this for the last couple of weeks. Ryan Suckup cannot kick the ball into the end zone anymore. Yeah. He's always short. And when we needed that against the Chiefs, remember the Chiefs ran it out almost to the 40-yard line when they just needed a field goal to tie it. So this is not the reason why this guy's brought in. It's probably going to be kickoffs and anything beyond 50, because I think we both agree. Ryan Suckup, the leg is gone, and I don't know how long that's going to take to get back. So, yeah,
it's the scariest of positions we could be in, because we're about to get into playoff season, and field goals matter a lot in playoff season. So yeah, that's something that we're going to be monitoring. Obviously, it's been something we've been looking at since beginning of the season. But again, Titans win. I believe we score 4 touchdowns. I believe that the Colts score 2, and maybe they'll try for 3, but only make 2. I think my math is correct there. So I say the Titans win. Hopeful, confident, a little nervous. Got a couple questions that'll throw to your direction, man, as we spend the next 10 or so minutes kind of taking in what our audience wants to say.
Sure.
I guess my first question is going to be, and one that we already talked about a little bit, which injury hurts each team the most?
Ooh,
and so I guess I'll say what I think.
Go for it.
It's the breaking news as of late. It's got to be LaShawn Sims being out.
Ooh.
It's kind of scary to think that it's going to be our fifth or sixth cornerback out there, and that we're going to have some very green players at the position coming up this game. Kareem Orr at a UTC Chattanooga might get some snaps.
Oh man.
Joshua Kalu, of course, we love Kalu for his for being like so clutch, at the end of the KC game. But he's going to be out there, and so the strength and what do you call it, the depth of the cornerback positions getting tested. What do you say, brother? Either team, which injury hurts the most?
Well, I think a lot of Titan fans, again, they don't value Sims as much as maybe a coach would, for example, and I understand, but Sims he's proven he can play. We all remember the Clowney incident where Clowney's yelling on the sidelines. He's going to get hurt. You remember that?
My favorite meme ever. Favorite Titans meme ever.
He stepped up many times. Now, he's not a top 2 corner in this league by any means, right? He's not a number 1 or number 2, but he's a solid, dime or whatever nickel guy you can bring in certain situations and get the job done. But now him and Butler being out, we're definitely going to get tested. That means Byard's going to have to step up more. And what about Hooker? Hooker could be this guy that we throw in there. So I think we can survive, Nick. Remember, I think Brissett only had like 146, which is so scary, by the way, with Hilton, 43 yards receiving. And Mac had 50 yards rushing. We still lost to the Colts.
It's insanity.
So it is insanity. But, that's going to be – I hope he comes back, though, because it may not be one of those games we need him.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, I agree. They're gonna try. They're gonna try and run the ball a lot, And Jacoby Brissett, he doesn't get a ton of passing yards each game anyway. He just passes the ball kind of in situations in which he needs to. So I just think, just that still being there, he will have to pass a few times.
Oh yeah.
He'll have to make plenty of completions in order to beat the Titans. That's scary for me. For the Colts. The injury I think that maybe hurts the most is it could be Hilton, it could be Ebron, honestly. But I'll go with Hilton. The stats, there's a scary stat. I don't know if you put it out or I saw it somewhere on Twitter, but the Colts without Hilton, they're like across his whole career, they're like 1-7 or something like that.
Wasn't me, but that's a good stat.
That's a good stat. Yeah, you like that stat. Yeah, when Hilton's not playing, the Colts, like, I've only won 1 game in the time that Hilton has been a Colt. So that's good news for the Titans. We like that. And obviously there were some big third down pass breakups between Brissett and Hilton in that Texans game. That the ball went right into his hands, but just bounced off. So Hilton is going to be huge being gone. And then Ebron too. I mean, the Colts, it's Quentin Nelson I'm sorry. The Colts have some serious injury.
Oh, they do.
What do you think, man?
Well, I would agree, Hilton. I mean, it's got to be. He's their most dynamic player by far. And I know that.
What's up, football lover?
Yeah, what's up, football lover, man? New Orleans. That's going to be an interesting game too, by the way. But yeah, I think for the most part, you definitely would have to go with Hilton because he can change the game. Sure. Now for the Titans, and Nelson, that is an interesting thing, but he was a full go on Friday, so he'll be fine. But yeah, I think for the Tennessee Titans, a lot of us aren't going to say Delaney Walker, and that's fine. He's out for the year. But how about Milton? I feel like Milton's one of those guys. He was our best special teamer.
I know it.
You know what I mean? And he made plays. And I don't know. I think that's probably why the Colts got rid of him, is because he's injured too much. But he's in every other game, it seems like, anyways. Sure. But that might be one of those things, especially in a close game, we're going to need. But, I mean, I can't top Sims. Sims is going to be, for sure, very, very important. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there is Derrick Henry. We don't know what the latest is on him. It seems like he's going to go.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, that's huge. That's
the Titans did not sign another running back, so there's that situation. But you don't mess around with a hamstring.
Yeah.
So, that's one guy we're going to need going forward. So, but yeah, I'd agree with you on Sims for sure.
So hopefully we are the team that just has the greater depth at all positions moving forward throughout the entire rest of the season, honestly. Next question. We'll just do a real quick couple of questions here, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. Which pass catcher will have the best day? That's one question I want you to think about. And how many rushing yards will King Henry get in this one? So which pass catcher has the best day? You know, on I'm thinking this could be a Corey Davis game.
I was gonna say Corey Davis. It's about time, right?
It's about time for the guy to show up. You know, he likes to emerge in big time games, and do stuff. You know, the Eagles game comes to mind, obviously. Patriots game comes to mind, obviously. You know, he'll come out, and I think he'll play some good ball for us. And then I'm also thinking maybe Jonnu Smith. You know, maybe him knowing like Delaney Walker's absolutely not coming back. You know, it's my time to really show this team what I can do as the number one tight end moving forward. You know.
Yeah. The only issue with wide receivers in this game, if you go back to week 2 and what the Colts do so well against us and what Marcus Mariota struggles with, is that Colts like that cover 2.
Yeah.
And they will not let you beat them deep. Everything's underneath. So for us Titan fans watching this game, again, if you see Ryan Tannehill dumping, it's because they're taking away everything. So sure. But you mentioned King Henry and how many yards he's going to get. That is the key, because the last couple times we played the Colts, I want to say the last 3 times, we've went away from him for whatever reason. And 15 carries, Nick, is just not enough against the Colts when you're averaging 5.5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
So feed the beast. What is I forget?
What's up, Pelican?
Yeah, what's up, Pelican, man?
We got 173 yards. That's a very good specific number. How many touchdowns, though? That's the question.
But Buck Rising always mentions on his little podcast, there's a there's some tame the beast or something. But this is one we don't want to be tamed. We want to unleash the beast for sure in this match.
Definitely.
So, but I was gonna say with the Colts, here's the X factor, dude. Right? They got 2 former Titans on that offense side of the ball. They're gonna get a lot of opportunities.
Doyle
and Doyle. So. I mean, I like Jayon Brown versus Doyle. It obviously takes away. Jayon Brown's way more athletic, but those 2 in particular are going to be heavy, heavy, heavy influences on the Colts passing attack if that's the choice they decide to go.
Absolutely. So I'm going to say that I'm going to say King Henry gets at least $125. It's a really good defense the Colts have. It's better defense than we faced in recent weeks, in my opinion, by probably a lot. But I believe that you can't stop this guy. As good a defense as you have, you can get this guy 0 yards in the first quarter. He can still make up the difference by the time the third quarter rolls around. So I think there'll be plenty of yards for Derrick Henry to get. By the way, if you're just tuning in, love the comments. Love you guys being here for the pregame show. This is the first time NGB Talk has been doing a pregame show featuring TitanUpload. And first time Mark has been on another YouTube channel So making Titan Upload history. Be sure if you're not already subscribed to him, go check him out. Go check out his awesome Titans content. We're kind of wrapping things up here. If there's any last minute comments that we need to throw up on the screen for everyone to see, hey, please go ahead and make those comments shown. As we wrap it up, I'm going to just point out one thing. The weather is going to be low 40s, maybe even high 30s in Indianapolis on Sunday afternoon. Low 40s and kind of rainy. Maybe some showers here and there. Could be some pretty good Derrick Henry weather. Honestly, this season the Titans played in rain versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we laid an egg.
You thinking the dome's going to be open?
It's a dome, isn't it?
Yeah. But sometimes they have the roof open. Maybe it's a kind of the Colts think that's their best attack. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? If it was raining and they left the dome open because they feel like it's a better opportunity. I don't think it's ever been done before, but that would definitely be really cool to see.
Okay, this just in. The Lucas Oil Stadium is a dome.
Hey, April Fools is a little bit of ways, Nick. So
oh boy. Anyway, so the weather should be nice. A nice room temperature, 74 degrees, and thanks, football lover. Appreciate that, brother. We'll wrap things up. Thanks for being here, folks. Thanks, Mark, for being on the show. Remember to like, subscribe, and share NGBTalk and TitanUpload. Here are our Twitter handles. We post things on Twitter. We like to talk during the game, after the game, before the game. If we could talk more about Titans football, we would. And our wives would probably go crazy. But hey, that's marriage, you know.
Part of the territory.
And, you marry us, you marry the Titans too. Anyway, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Tighten up. Mark, any last words you got to say to the folks?
It's just going to be a big game, right? So a lot's going to change on Sunday. We'll know the direction or the path this Tennessee Titans team's going.
That's right.
It's all going to come down Sunday.
Let's watch and enjoy. Should be a good one. Everyone, thanks for being here. I would say tighten up, but that's what you say. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, tighten up. And thanks again, Nick, for allowing me. And go subscribe to this guy.
Absolutely. Peace.
Peace. Take care.